Hello again, my name is KryptOkib and welcome back to KryptOkib's analysis. So like I said in the last lesson, we are going to backtest exactly what I explained to you guys using the 3-candle pivot method as head and shoulders, combining with SFP, the demand and supply market structure. So let's get started. So the first point is we want to code the indicator that will make it easy because we are using 3 candles, right? We don't want to be looking at 3 candles to see. It's tedious to do. So it's better we just make something that will make it easier for us to identify and know where to look. Then we filter it ourselves. We can have an alert, we may not have an alert. So to code, you also use a pen editor. You just click on pen editor. This is a default script. So you can come to open, you see blank indicator script. If you don't want to use blank indicator script, you can use a template. I believe TradingView do have templates, and then they have references and resources and tutorials which you can read to know how to code. But it's always good to have at least basic programming skills or basic coding skills. So to get this started, they have given me all this blah 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 version 5, but I've not used version 5 before. I don't know what it's in there. I don't know if there is function changes or anything has changed. But the last time I used something, it was a version 4. So I'm going to go back to 4, and then I'm going to delete what they have here, that plot and indicator on my script. Then I'm going to go to studies, which is study, because I'm studying the chart. Then we have open and close. I'm going to give a name to the script I want to make. So I'm going to say it's KryptOkib scalping, or scalping, what should I call it? I do have no problem with naming conventions. KryptOkib scalping method, or just leave it like that, KryptOkib scalping. So then comma overlay to be true. Overlay is to show on the chart. If you have it to false, then it may just add it like an indicator. It may not display it on the chart. So that is everything that is needed. Then the other things needed is I want to give conditions. What conditions do I want? I'm looking for something like this, right? Where is this? So I'm looking for something like this, right? So a candle going down, then lower high, lower low, then high close higher than the high here. But then I want to confirm it is in a downtrend. So this is what I'm looking for. Then 1, 2 like this, then another one, then the other one like this. So that is exactly what I want to use as my conditions. So the correct candle is what I will be painting and coloring like this, the current candle. So this is what I want to do. Okay, let me use this as an example. I'm just going to mark this candle so I can know where I'm working. That is my current candle. This is this candle here, this particular one. Let me remove this thing again. Let me just delete it. Let me shift this to the back. So this candle was the lowest low making candle. This is your current candle, so it is your candle 0. This is a previous candle, the first one, so it becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, blah 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 like that. So I want to name the condition for when in a downtrend and for a bullish reversal. Let me just say KryptOkib. Let me just say Okib rather. KryptOkib is too long. Okib bull. That's bull. That means bull reversal. Then equals. Then now we have the conditions. This is a first candle, so it is 0. I want the lows of this candle to be higher than the lows of that particular candles, right? So I will say low, that means of this particular candle, greater than low of the first candle to the back. That is the first candle to the back. Because I'm working with this candle, when this one is confirmed, it paints it just like this. So low than the first candle, that is in bracket or in quotes 1. Then I'm adding an AND condition. That is not all the conditions. Then I want this very candle's low to be lower than this candle's low. So I will say then low 1 to be lower than low 2. Now I have my pivots. This low is higher than this. That means that very low, current low is higher than the low of 1, and the low of 1 is lower than the low of 2. But then it doesn't show me I'm in a downtrend. So I want this 2 low to be lower. I want the second candle low to be lower than the third candle's low. Then I say and low of 2 to be lower than low of 3. That's the candle. That means 1, 2, 3. You can continue it for how long as you want, but then that is just okay for me. That shows that I have at least 3 candles in a downtrend. And then that doesn't confirm it. We might have lower lows, but then we have some wicks above the highs when market is really wicky and wants to filter that out. So I have the low of 2 lower than the low of 3. Then I'll just say and the highs. And now I want to deal with the highs. The high of 1, which is this, to be lower than the high of 2. That means lower than the high of 2. And the high of 2 to be lower than the high of 3. That is a high of 3, right? If you want the high of 3 to be lower than the high of 4, you can actually put it. But then 3 is okay for me. Then what happens? I want the close of this candle to close above the high of that first previous candle. So then I will say no. Before that, I want an SFP. Yes, I want an SFP. So this was the last low. Then this means a lower high. A lower low. Then I want this candle, starts the first candle, to close back above the low of that low too. So I need an SFP. So I will say and close 1. And close of 1 higher than the low of 2. Higher than the low of 2. Let me quickly pause this video. My kid is crying. I'll get back to you right now. Okay, I'm back to it. So where did I stop? I said that is close of 1 higher than low of 2. So okay, I want the close of this to close above the low of this candle, creating an SFP. Okay, then it doesn't end there. So I will do another hand there, and close of this particular current candle to be higher than the high of this candle. That means it has broken the invalidation and close above of it. So I will say and close higher than high of 1. So that is the first condition. If I notice another thing, we may add it later on. So then I want to do for KryptOkib bear. That means I've done for this now, for the movement to the downside. Now I have to do for the movement to the upside. So it is everything here but the inverse. So instead of using low here, you want to use high. Instead of using high here, you want to use low. I'm trying to see on chart if I can get any pointer. Okay, let me use as a pointer. So I need assuming this is my correct candle, then I need 1, 2, 3. Then I want the high of this current candle to be lower than the low. Okay. Wait, I need the low of this candle, or no, I need the high of this current candle to be lower than the high of this last candle. Exactly. Okay, that is what it is here. So I want high of this current candle. This is confusing me. Okay, I want it to be lower than the high of 1. 1 now is this first candle, the one with the SFP. But this is not a good candle, so it's confusing me a bit. So I want the high of this to be lower than the high of this. And I'm going to add an and I want the high of this candle to be higher than the high of the second candle. So high, that is high 1, higher than high of 2. Then another hand, that is high of 2, that is 1, 2. So high of 2 to be high than the high of 3. So greater than high of 3. Then, if you can see here too, we have high 2 higher than high of 3. And here we have low 2 lower. Exactly. Then here it became high. That means and low. Here now we are going to make use of low. That is low 1, which is this low, higher than the low of 2. So the lows are to confirm an higher high and higher lows, higher than the lows of 2. And low of 2 higher, which is greater than the low of 3. Exactly. That means we have confirmed an higher for 3 candles, higher high and lower highs. Then after that we have close of 1, and this is 1. The close of 1 to be lower than the high. No, is it close of 1? Okay, this is 1. We want the close of 1 to be lower in this case than the high of 2. Close of 1 lower than the high of 2. Let me give a space here. It doesn't really matter, but just to make it clean. And here we have close 1 higher than low of 2. And for bullish, for bearish, maybe it becomes close of 1 lower than high of 2. Yes, and then close, that means close of the current candle, we want it to be lower than the low of 2. Close of current candle to be lower than the low. Is it low of 1? Current candle, yes. Current candle close to be lower than low of 1. Should be low of 1 or 2. That's the second condition. So we have a condition for the bull side. That means a bullish reversal, which is this. Then a condition for the bearish reversal, which is this. So what next? We want to paint the candles that meet these conditions. And TradingView has something they call back color. To do that, it comes in whatever this is called. So as you can see, if you put your mouse over it, it should show you the conditions. So we have back color. These are bars, right? All these candles, they are bars. So if you put your mouse over it, we have mouse over. Then you see color, offset, editable, show last, title, blah 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 blah, plenty things. We may not want to work with that plenty things. So I'm going to input here an if condition. So I'm going to say, like if you are a programmer, you know we have if else, blah blah blah, like that. So we have if we have okib bool, as in if this condition is correct, then yes, like in SZ2 you have a condition, you have the right statement, then you have the false statement. So if this okib bool statement is correct, then the yes part should be color dot new, that is their function. We have color dot new, then we have, it's a condition too, so it's in that bracket. So the color I want, color dot, let me use black, then comma, the transparency of the color, let me use 70. And maybe it's probably zero. So then we have the, if this condition is correct, then this will activate. That means if this condition is correct, that current candle that makes the condition to be valid will be painted black. Or should I change it to, let me change it to green. transparency 70. If it doesn't show where, we can edit it from anywhere from 0 to 100. Then that is a true statement. Then this is a false statement now. So if this statement is false, as in there is no condition, then I want to check for KryptOkib bear. Okay, so I want to check for KryptOkib bear. And then this is another statement in the statement. Then we have, if KryptOkib bear now is true, then I want my color dot new again, then into brackets, then color dot, let me use red there, comma, transparency 70. So that is it. But then what if this KryptOkib bear condition is false too? So then we have not available any. Then I close the bracket, and that is it. So this, now we have this to cover this. This, if this is valid, it is correct, then this condition will be activated. That means our bar, the bar will be painted with color green and transparency of 70. Oh my god. Then if it's false, it will check for KryptOkib bear. Then if KryptOkib bear is valid, this will be activated. But if KryptOkib bear is not valid, then nothing will be done. That's why we have not available. So after that, we can compile this script and see if everything goes well. Then you save. Asking for the title or the name to save with, just click save. Exactly. If there is an error in the coding, it won't come. It will show you bottom here that you have an error. So the what's it called? The script is well accepted. You can add it to chart here by clicking on it to add to chart. Then, or you can go to your indicators here. Where are the indicators symbols again? Indicators. Then you come to my script. That is where it will be. You look for it. Okay, this is okay. KryptOkib scalping. I think it's been added. Let me hide this one now. As I can see, this is enabled. Then I've hidden it. So KryptOkib scalping, the one we just made, is active, and we can see a green candle here, which means this condition we have coded for is correct. So once you see this 3 candle condition, then your demand, you may want to use the full wick like this, or you can use the body, and this is going on where, but then this is for scalping, right? So let me go on a scalping time frame. I like to work with 22, 13, 30, or what's it called, 15. Okay, this red is not that, it's not bold. So I'm going to go back to the editor, and then the green is okay, I think, or let me just use 100. Then let me use the red to 100. I'm going to save it again and watch for changes. Oh, it became white. Oh wow. So let me go for 20 here. Let me see if I can see the green. Let me go back on my 240 to check for the green. It's also white. Okay, so let me go for 20 as well. Then save. Perfect. So we now have the bold green. Back to 22 time frame. Okay, we have a better red. And then you always want to filter out noises. And how do you do that? You have to look to the left. You don't want a lot of price action. You don't want to take a scalping when it's ranging. You also want a trending market. Like at this point, you have a trend up. This formed. This, I'm not sure if this is supposed to be a bearish bear. I'm not sure if this closed right below of this. But then there is something I'm noticing at this point here. That red is like the same body size. I don't want that to have, I don't want the candles to have the same body size. I want, even if this is closing below of it by a cent, let me make sure. I'm not sure why that is coming. So I have, that is a low. Then let me see the close of this candle. That is 34625. Then the close of this candle is 34622. And that means it closed just below it. But then the body of the candle is almost the same. So I'm going to edit that out. I want the candle body of the engulf to be bigger. So how do I do that? That means I'm going to set in another condition. So what condition do we have to set in? Okay, we can just do it like calculate the difference in size of this body and the difference in size of this body and make sure it's bigger. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to say, let me say, OKB, this since that's our current, OKBC. Correct candle equals, I don't want positive or negative value, so I'm going to use absolute. Then I'm going to say close minus open. That means the close of this candle minus open, so it won't give me negative value. You can also do open minus close, it's the same thing. Then I'm going to do OKB past candle. Let me just say P. That's a past candle. Then absolute as well. I don't want positive or negative candle. Close minus open. So this now is going to give me the value of the difference in the past candle and the current candle. So what do I have to do here again is, on the way up, I just have to add an and OKBC, that is the current candle, greater than OKBP. Right. So I just have to copy this and put it on this part as well. I want the current candle's body to be bigger. Now let me quickly mark this and see. It's still bigger anyway, so it might still reflect, it still be bigger. That is why you have to look at the candles. Okay, now I think it's gone. That's it. It's no longer colored. It's no longer colored, so it's gone. That means you don't have to trade it. Or let me see. Not. I think everything is gone. That means there is probably an error. Okay, BC. Open minus close. Yes. Close minus open. Yes. Oh, sorry. This past candle, there is a mistake there. It should be close 1. This is for the current candle. This is for the past candle. It should be close of 1. Yes. Then minus open of 1. Exactly. Then save. Okay, it has been saved. Now let me go back. Let's see. It still counts because it's a bit bigger. Just a bit bigger. But when you come and you see the pointer, the red candle, you have to analyze it yourself and see if it's decent enough to trade or not. Look at this one now. We have a bigger body. So you can know that your demand is just here, or your supply. It tries to come above there, move down below. But then you do not want to see all this plenty price action. All this plenty price action to the left. They are enemies of trading. It can work definitely, but then you just want to, you want something clean. Then look at this. You have this great candle here. You have a move into it. And one thing I like is I want my retest to be swift. I don't want it to take a lot of time. This one took a bit of time, came into it, tried to hold support till it got broken. So let's look ahead and see what happens. Okay, here we have a move down, then a move up. This should, oh, okay. This should have given us an indication, but then what happened? This was a pin bar. This didn't give an SFP. We do not get an SFP. Didn't close above this low here. If not, this might have been a good one. This might have been a good one, since we are going for 1 hour. Then here we have a move up, SFP, move down. Then what happened? We have this retest of it, and then they crash down. So looking ahead, this is also one, this is also another one, but like I said, this plenty price action, it shows consolidation, and when price is consolidating like this, it can be wicky, it can go in any direction. So all of this, at this point, I wouldn't want to trade it, but this is a bit cleaner, because to this left of it, left of the sun, let me draw the sun like this, okay? To the left of it like this is to the right, this is to the right, this is to the left. We do not have a lot of movement on that price levels, so that can be a good one. But all these ones, they are in heavy, right or left, you see a lot of price movement. Okay, this is another one. So you have to the left of it, this is a zone. This thing there is clumsy. As you can see, to the left of it, no much price movement in that area, and then it gave a demand. Price came back into it, it reacted to the demand. This gave a supply here, but then what happened? To the left of the supply, you see a lot of price movement. You see a lot of price movement. And then if you have taken it, it might still have worked, because from this point to this point, price instant retest came down. Okay, this is another one. This is another one. I like to use bodies. To the right, no price. To the left, no price. Price tries to come into it, or they didn't feel. This magnet is stuck out the same way. Okay, maybe it feel on the week. Using the week, price dropped, came into it, then dropped back down. Then let's move on. Let's move on. Okay, see another one here. This is the supply. To the left of it, no price actions, no clumsy movement, dropped, came back to it on this candle, dropped, quick retest dropped. Here they didn't quite cash it, for that dropped. Here, that's this one, but plenty price movement, so I want to take it. Here, not too much price movements to the left of it, but these are tiny zones. To the left of it, no price movement, and then what happened? Okay, quick move into it, drop. This is a scalping strategy, right? You are going for 1 hour. Sometimes it can give you 3 hours. This one is another one. I don't know if you can actually see. Maybe I should just make it big. But we have a lot of price action. It did work. A lot of price action to the left. This one, a lot of price action. I wouldn't have taken it, but then it's right. This one, nope. This one is a supply. But looking at the left of it, a lot of price action. Not a lot, but price has pierced that level. Price has pierced that level. But with your stop loss, this can still work out to be a good one, because you won't have your stop right at the edge. Let me use the two I use for my... Okay, I will have been stopped out. So, okay, there is something I noticed on this particular chart that I want us to discuss. Okay, fine. Now, look at this point. We have a clean one here. No price movement to the left until far away. Then price came into it, head, 1 hour. Then here too, we have a supply. Price action was to the left, but we have still a bit of space there. Still a bit of space. So if you have to take it, also head. You wouldn't have used, there is a bit of space, but then it's still clumsy, a bit clumsy. So it's still head. But then there is something I noticed there. Here we have a pivot, 3 candle pivot, right? Let me use this. We have this candle, which made a low, a lower high, a lower low, sorry, then an higher low. Then that's head and shoulder, right? But then look at it again. Look at it again. We have another head and shoulder in it. This is a left shoulder. Let me remove this magnet. This is a head, and this is the right shoulder. And remember, we have this. Now let me enable my magnet again. So this was the, what's it called? This was the move to the, this was a, what's it called? Move from an high to a low to an high. This is lower than this. Then this move to a lower high. So that is market structure, right? So we expect a break of this candle and a close above of it to confirm the head and shoulder. But what happened? It formed an head and shoulder, wicked above it, didn't close above it, but then it didn't confirm the head and shoulder. Even though these 3 candle setups see head, what did it hold for? Now we can see another head and shoulder. This was inverse. Then now look. Now we have even, okay, we even have another market structure here where we have this move up, move down, then move up. And that is invalidation, right? So it gets taken out. that invalidation right there gets taken out, right? Then what happened? We have something to the left like this, then we have a net like this. Then from this point of invalidation getting taken out, we have a move up, which we can say is our right shoulder. Then this invalidation, we have a close above, below of it. Then price came back into, you could have taken your supply like that, into this supply, and then boom. So we have an inverse head and shoulder. Then we had another proper head and shoulder. This is a move up, market structure, invalidation, small move, maybe wick below of it, came back to form an eye or maybe close. That means trend has changed. So that coming back to retest the bear supply, move down, but this small tiny minute head and shoulder head to give a bounce to retest the proper head and shoulder, and then it gave a crash to the downside. So that is the beauty of this, and these are secrets of price action nobody wants you to know. So let me look for a why. Time is getting exhausted. Let me look for a why. Okay, see this on here. You have this price to the left, not much, but it didn't hold. We have a move down into it at this point. We have a move down into it. It gave a bounce, definitely. Then at the end of the day, what happened? It crashed. Even we had another one here, but this particular one now, the wick is too long, so it's definitely not going to give you a good risk reward. Now using my entry tool, if I have my entry here, my stop here, see where my 1 hour will be. It's just too far away above of this other supply here. It's too far away, so that one won't give you good risk reward, and then you don't want to trade it. Then see another demand here. This one formed, and this is scalping, right? But because of this week, this didn't make the last low in the move down. So that is why I won't take this week. I want it to be the last low coming down, not a move down, then another like higher low. I want it to be the last low. So that also broke. And then when it broke, it gave rise to this supply. And then this supply is another one that I wouldn't take. Why? Because of this price movements in here. But if you extend it to the left, maybe it did work. Okay, price came into it, gave a little bounce. But then I wouldn't even be trading it at this point because it's too far away and trend probably have changed. We have this high. You're looking at big picture. You do not have to scalp. If you want to scalp, you can scalp it and use stop loss. Risk management is everything, right? So looking ahead, this one too, small space, a lot of price action, but it's more price went up, price coming down, give this zone, and this is the zone. Price came into it, give that bounce. So perfect. These zones I wouldn't take. Why? Because of all this price movement in there. It's clumsy. Now this is a bit clean. If you want this candle to close strongly, like 70% of the candle's body, we can quote that. It's possible. So we have this demand, price came into it, gave a bounce. But then the time frame it takes in coming into it, sometimes this market we are in, it's not that perfect. Here we have a doji. I've not actually studied how doji reacts in this condition, but we can definitely see it got broken. Here we have market move down. Then we have the push up. Let me see how it reacts. A little bounce, then break. Let me see the wick. Okay, the wick didn't quite fit before we have that bounce. So not everything is going to work because nothing is 100%. A move up, a move down, leaving a zone behind. Then what happened? A stop ons. But if I were to take this trade, I'm where my stop would have been. My stop would have been at this red line. So 1 hour, probably 2 hours, or 1.8 hours before it gets taken out. And then once that zone is taken out, what happened here? You have a perfect demand zone, a normal demand zone, breaking structure to the upside. So last low, then into that a bounce, then before it breaks, change of trend. And this could have been a perfect one that indicator will have given rise to, if not for this price action that came, or this candle that came in between this very low making candle and this candle. So these are things you can just backtest and just use on some time frames. And this, we had a low. Like I said, this wasn't the last low making candle, so I might not take this trade. But then looking at this candle, it's very bullish. It's very bullish. And then if we have to look at another thing, we have a move down, move up, move down. That is market structure, close above 4 feet. That means we have a normal demand zone at this level. But then before then, we have another move up, a move down, then before the close. So we even have a shoulder and then another shoulder. So this trade at this point would have been interesting, but not using the 3 candle pattern. I wouldn't use the 3 candle pattern, but I will use it because of this break of structure here. And then we have shoulder 1, head, shoulder 2. So at this point will be a good demand. Price came into it, and then the rest is history, or it was history. So let me see if I can get 1 or 2 more. Okay, this one, a very minute one, but then price didn't come back to fill it until later. And when it did, it had. But at that point it did, I wouldn't be in the trade. I will never take it. This one is clumsy. This one is okay. This one seems better. It's not clumsy. Instant reset, the retest of it, down. This one too, we have one here. Okay, it made the last time, but will it be good for risk reward? Touch of it and move down maybe 1 hour before breaking. We are not taking this trade for long. This one failed, or they give a bounce, move down. There are some space here. Okay, here give a bounce before breaking. This one up to close. So that's it, guys. You can just research some of these things. They are not hard, and then you can try to use them at your comfort. Maybe I will try to fine-tune this indicator the more, and then maybe I'll probably release it to the public. So that is it about scalping and scalping strategy. This is like a strategy, right? So okay, guys, thank you for watching.